Welcome back to the channel. Special edition on a Friday at 9:11 a.m. Making a special gift for my son. Doesn't cost a whole lot, didn't take a lot of time, but it's something genuine and there's only one like it, so I figured he'd like it. So what I'm doing here is I've got some 1x8s I bought at Lowe's, and that's pretty much all the wood supplies that I need. I bought 3 of them. I have to take it down to 37.5 inches, and then I have to rip each one to 1.5 inches. So I'm using my table saw and I'm using my chop saw to get that done, all working on batteries. No corded machineries for this project. So I've already got the 1x8 cut down to 37.5. I'm now cutting it down, or I guess I'm ripping it down to 1.5 inch thick. So I need 13 of these, I guess you would call stripes later on in the project. So pretty easy process. The DeWalt table saw works great. I had no problems. I think I'm not even sure if I even used 1 bar battery for all these rips. The chop saw, put 2 batteries in it, and of course no problems there at all. I don't notice the difference in power, so that's the beauty of it. All in all, I got about maybe $80 in this project. The most amount of money in it is actually the stain, which I have enough stain, red, white, and blue stain, to make about 100 of these. But you can't buy the stain in any other quantities other than I think a pint. So I've got plenty of red, white, and blue stain. Here they all are. I think I ended up cutting 16 of them just because that's just the way it worked out. And now what I have to do is find the best pieces, put them in the right order I want them in, make sure there's 13 of them. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a stencil that I bought from Amazon. And the stencil is the appropriate size for the size of my flag. So 37.5 inch lengths by 1.5 inch stripes equals this size of star template. So it's pretty simple. Now what I have to do is I have to identify where the union, that's what it's called, the star template, the union lays on the flag itself, so I can stain that section a little different than the rest of it. So I've clearly marked that. I'll use razor blades and I'll pound those in to stop overbleed from the different types of stains going into it. And what I'm doing here is I'm putting a base of burn on the wood itself. This just gives it some definition. It really makes it look really cool in the end. So I'm going through each one of these, just touching it with a small torch. Now they got bigger torches out there. I wouldn't go out and spend the money on one because I don't have one. My buddy had one, but for the most part this works fine. Had to start it a few times. It kept on being kind of stubborn, I guess you would say. So, but this doesn't take very long. It's actually one of the funner parts of the project is just burning the wood. There's no particular way or right or wrong way. You just kind of do it your own way. Now what I'll do later, and I don't think I show in the video, is I'll show you I actually char the union area a little darker than the rest. That really makes that pop like a real dark navy blue. And with the white stars, it really stands out. So I do go back and add a little bit more fire along this project, along the way actually. Pretty simple process. Like I said, this is one of the best parts. Here's the stain that I bought from Lowe's. Had it mixed up. I'll put the colors and the product in the description of the video in case you want to do this yourself. Pretty simple. There you can see the darker union area that I actually went back and I don't think I recorded it, but it definitely helps make this blue look more navy because the blue is a real blue. I think it's called frost blue. But when you burn the back end of it, it gives you a really dark, deep navy blue, and that's what you're looking for on a flag. You can also see the razor blades that I pounded in with a hammer. That just stops the blue stain from going to the red and white stain that I'm going to put on the opposite side. It's a good little trick actually. It won't let it bleed through, and it keeps the line pretty crisp. Just a matter of applying the stain evenly on here. Nothing special. Not a big stain guy. I guess either way, it's not anything. I mean, I guess I prefer to stain over painting every day of the week, but you know, you never know what you're going to get until you put stain on. With paint, you know what you're going to get because you see the color sample, but with stain on top of wood, you really don't know. Here's the red. I think it's barn red. I think it's what it's called. Like I said, description will be or the product will be in the description down below. but for the most part the red's right on the nose. And then I really like this white stain a lot too. It looks really sharp. It really pops with the 3 different colors. I definitely like the burn marks behind the colors. It really makes the flag look authentic. So what I'm doing here is I was kind of worried about each board sticking up. I have to clamp this thing down and make sure it's kind of all put together. I was kind of worried about certain stripes being a little higher than other stripes when it's all put together. So what I figured I would do is just go ahead and char the edges of each one of the stripes. That way if it does kind of look higher than the others, or it is higher than the others, then what I do is you won't notice as much because it'll be black instead of maybe like a pine color, pine wood color. So what I did here was I basically just lined up the flag, make sure I had all my colors in a row. You start with a red and you end it with a red, and there's 13 stripes. Now here I am trying to clamp it all together. You know, these little small strips, they don't like to stay straight very long, so you need to get a clamp on them so you can get a couple backer strips on it to make sure it stays straight forever. It's a pretty simple process actually. Here I am just simply lining up the stripes, making sure it looks pretty true and square. I'm not putting anything particular on this. I'm just laying it out and eyeballing it. It's a sign. It's made by me, so it's not perfect by no means, but it's pretty close actually. But besides the point. Here I am, just a little bit of wood glue, and then I'm using my DeWalt brad nailer, putting little, I think 1.25 inches in there, so it leaves me 1/4 so it doesn't pop out the front. But I'm putting two nails in each one along with the glue on both sides. That should keep it together pretty good. Taking the clamps off, gonna see what this puppy looks like here in a second. Like I said, I probably got about 80 bucks in it. It probably took me a total of maybe 3 hours to do the project, if that. Not very long. It was easy. I might make another one. I might make another one for me. There it is all together. And you can see the lines between the stripes. You don't see any pine wood color. If anything, you see a dark black color. That's kind of what I wanted. Now I'm going to touch these edges up here in a minute, but I'm going to do the stars. So here's the template I got from Amazon. I think it was like 8 bucks. And you get like 3 or 4 of them in there, different sizes. I'll put that in the description too. So you get this template, and then you could trace these out and then like basically carve them out if you wanted to, but I think that's a little overkill for what I'm doing. So I'm taking, I guess, the easy way out. I'm gonna go ahead and do a spray paint job over top of them. I want to make sure I don't put too much on. I don't want it running, so that's the only worry here. I do end up putting 2 coats on it. Kind of wanted the blue to bleed through a little bit on the stars, just a tad bit. So I was trying to be real careful and not putting too much white paint on it. It's just your basic flat matte white paint. Here's the prize shot right here. Looks really good. So I noticed I needed to do the edges now. I'm trying to make the edges completely black, and I'm also kind of hitting the top a little bit more too to give it some more definition in the corners. But just making sure all the edges are nice and black. It plays nice with the color scheme. So the true reason why I decided to do this gift for my son was we traveled last year for football camps and stuff, and we both saw sign similar at a Lowe's in Michigan. And he really liked it and mentioned it several times. I was like, you know what, I'll make him one. Not as big as the one in Lowe's, but a mini version of it. So this is my gift to him. Hope he likes it. Put my heart in it. He knows it. And I know he'll love the present. Hope you enjoyed the video. That's a wrap. If you like these types of videos, give it a like. Make sure you subscribe. Please share with family and friends. And like I always say, I appreciate you spending time with the Home Pro Hero.